Chapter 2, yes, of the book of Job. Yeah. Again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord. And Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. And the Lord said unto Satan, From whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. The Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man that feareth God and escheweth evil? And still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause. Satan answered the Lord and said, Skin for skin, yea, all that a man hath will he give for his life. But put forth thine hand now, and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. Now so went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord, and smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his foot unto his crown. And he took him a potsherd to scrape himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes. Then his wife unto him, Dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse God and die. But he said unto her, Thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of God, and shall we not receive evil? In all this did not Job sin with his lips. But when Job's 3 friends heard all this evil that was come upon him, they came every one from his own place. Eliphaz and Temanite and Bildad and Shuahite. No, Eliphaz the Temanite, Bildad the Shuahite, and Zophar the Naamathite. For they had made an appointment together to come to mourn with him and to comfort him. And when they lifted up their eyes afar off and knew not him, they lifted up their voice and wept. And they rent every one his mantle and sprinkled dust upon their heads toward heaven. So they sat down with him upon the ground 7 days and 7 nights, and none spake a word unto him, for they saw that his grief was very great. You know, it's nice that Job had his friends decide that they were going to support him in his trials and tribulations. You know, shouldn't we receive good from God? I remember when I was a stockbroker, I was making $20,000 a month, $250,000 a year. And I had a lot of money. I made $1 million in 5 years. And I had received good from God, and I was very concerned about giving. I didn't just tithe, I made offerings and supported missionaries and those in other ministries. Yes. In fact, I had sent Mike Van Proyn a surprise offering of $1,000 after I had lived at Kingsway Foursquare Church. Mike had been so generous, he gave me a mat to sleep on in an extra room. Mike was always so generous. Well, I was supposed to be poor, yes. I had worked for Aid Association for Lutherans in Seattle, lived on Capitol Hill, and Y2K was a concern to me. But I got a job at Washington Mutual. I was one of the first financial consultants that was employed by Shelley Frank at that time. Yes, he had just become the regional manager, and I went to a job interview where I wore a really nice suit, and I brought some freshly squeezed carrot juice. And I only had a life insurance license at that time, and then I had passed the 6 and 63. I didn't have a Series 7. Well, for whatever reason, I got a job at the Washington Mutual there in the Safeway parking lot in Sequim, Washington. Yes. And Shelley Frank, being a new regional manager, yes, he kind of trusted me. but I had to get my Series 7 so that I could be a stockbroker. And I was probably one of the few persons that he employed that brought fresh carrot juice to the job interview. But I was of the mindset, don't spend any money on me. We can go to the Subway. We can buy a $5 sandwich. And knowing all of those in the financial services industry, I probably was the least expensive employee that they had there. You know, a lot of stockbrokers and those that work in financial services, they expect well, $200 lunch. Yes, they understand their importance. I didn't really. But I went from making nothing, yes, sleeping on the floor at Kingsway Foursquare Church, yeah, working with the youth group at that time, and Mike Van Proyen and Marilyn had just gotten the church in the previous couple of years. The Lord prospered me. I went from nothing. I was making maybe $5,000 to $7,000 a year in part-time work to $100,000 the first year to $200,000 the next year. In fact, I gave you an actual copy of my Social Security reported earnings. It was a time of prosperity for me. I used to spend about an hour a day leaving the bank and going to various churches. I'd say, well, can I use your sanctuary? See, my anointing is such that I actually need to pray, but I feel somewhat self-conscious about praying because I thought that you could hear what I was saying. I don't want the sheriffs and the police departments to hear what I'm praying. Now, I had received good of God. I would leave every day. I would go to the SWIM, Assembly of God Church, and I'd ask the pastor, oops, can I use your sanctuary? I'd have to get full, step into the omniscient.